Hey, it's 9 News meteorologist Cory Reppenhagen here in the North Arvada Weather Bureau for today. It's going to be a hot one, and it already has been, but we have the cloud cover already moving in. So that means that the temperature is likely just going to fluctuate in between the low to mid 90s here as we go along the day here on the Front Range. Depends on if we can catch a little break in the clouds to get our temperature back up, and then it goes back down once the cloud cover returns. Now, hopefully, this day, so far, it looks like it's going to be a hot start to August, and hopefully it doesn't match what we saw in July, which ended up being the hottest month ever recorded in the city of Denver, the second hottest month, that is. We were on pace, but those few cool days kind of brought us back down, and that is the case for just about everywhere in the state. I could not find one single weather station that had an average temperature below the average. So take a look at these numbers here for July temperatures. DIA had its second hottest month and second hottest July ever. Central Park had a significantly cooler, a degree and a half cooler, ranking still 8th all time there. All these average temperatures here that you see are all well above the average for July. Now look at that one in Castle Rock there, hottest month ever and hottest July ever, 79 degrees, really impressive. They had the hottest maximum temperature ever recorded in Castle Rock of 102 degrees back on July 11th, which likely contributed to a lot of this heat that you're seeing. Greeley, average temperature of 89 degrees, that's almost the average high temperature for Denver. So some really high heat that we saw there in the month of July. And so far, it looks like the first 7 or 8 days here in August are going to be well above average and off to a start where we could match what we saw in July. Here's the forecast highs for today. We're almost already to all of these. So over the next couple of hours here between 1 and 3:30 is when we're going to hit these high temperatures, especially out here on the eastern side of the state, where temperatures could get up into the upper 90s there. And the western slope is just a little bit cooler, but not much. It's 94 forecast in Grand Junction today. So all of this heat and sunshine does bring out an air quality alert for today because of ground level ozone. And most of this is because of the sunshine baking the pollutants that we already have on the Front Range. But we also have a little bit of just a tinge of wildfire smoke moving in from out of state, and the smoke that's coming here is from the fires out in Idaho being pushed down from the northwest. And so we do this air quality alert. We expect the air quality to reach unhealthy for sensitive groups category for today. So we do have a little bit of a break from the monsoon, although it is surging. It is very strong this year, but look at the positioning of the high pressure today and tomorrow. That position that it's in there is going to kind of funnel the monsoon moisture around to our west, and the monsoon will more heavily impact Southern California and parts of Nevada as well. And it does look like that heat wave up in the Pacific Northwest is going to finally start to pedal down here starting Wednesday. And that will bring a cold front our way as well, and we'll talk about that in a second. So even though that moisture is being funneled around us, most of it, we still have enough monsoon moisture over our mountains to create some limited burn scar flooding today, tomorrow, and likely Wednesday, is with the exception of the Cowwood burn scar today, because the Front Range is going to remain predominantly dry. So we do have some flash flooding. Well, not flash flooding, but we have some thunderstorm activity in the Cameron Peak burn scar. It's fairly light right now, but the National Weather Service in Boulder has issued a flood advisory because of the lighter nature. It doesn't quite reach the threshold or the positioning of the burn scar to cause a flash flood warning at the moment. But you see those showers are starting to fire there in parts of the northern Front Range mountains. And we'll stay predominantly dry here on the Front Range because we have an inversion up high, so there's no cool air above us. It's just warm straight through the atmosphere. The one thing we'll have to watch for, especially with these showers that just formed here, is for these to push out an outflow boundary down to the southern Front Range and maybe spark a few storms here in the Boulder, Denver area. As far as the computer forecast model goes, it's not showing that, but they don't pick up on those really fine mesoscale details too much. But this does show you the characteristics of the storms today. And as I put it into motion from now until about 3 p.m., you can see the scattered showers that popping over the foothills, moving relatively quickly, and a few of them are showing the possibility of being somewhat strong. So especially around the Grizzly Creek burn scar is one thing that we'll be watching for today with potential flash flooding. And then you see, even as we go from 3 to 7 p.m., you still see some heavy showers over there in the Cameron Peak burn scar area and parts of Larimer County. So the burn scar, limited burn scar flooding for today will continue all the way probably until sundown today. Another thing to notice is that the east side of the state, particularly from I-25 to the east, you see very little storm activity. And that is because of that heat that we were talking about in the upper atmosphere, creating an inversion, making it difficult for storms to push up above that. The only thing that could really push storms above it would be an outflow boundary from another thunderstorm. So we'll watch for outflow boundaries today to see if they'll spark any thunderstorms. But for the generally, we have a less than 10% chance of actually getting measurable rain from a thunderstorm on the Front Range. So that might mean only one thunderstorm makes it across into the Front Range today. And the Eastern Plains stays relatively dry as well. Here's the 7-day forecast going forward. We have another hot day in store for us on Tuesday. And then Tuesday evening, Tuesday night, we expect a cold front to slide through the state. It doesn't look too powerful, but it may be enough to keep our high temperature in Denver below 90 degrees for Wednesday. We'll have to keep an eye on it. For now, we'll go with the forecast of 90 degrees, just considering that that might be a very weak front there. And then it's right back into the middle 90s for Thursday, Friday, Saturday will be hot. And then a little bit, what we think is a little bit more of a significant cold front coming on Sunday morning, and then another one possibly Sunday night. So those will possibly be more impactful to our temperatures. We'll have to keep an eye on that one as we move into the time of year where we usually get our first dusting of snow in the high country. So one of these fronts here in the middle of August are usually the one that produces that first little dusting there. So we'll keep an eye on that. Usually an indication is that if the high temperature on the Front Range is below 80, in the middle part of August, then you start looking for that snow to be dusted up in the high country. So what I'm really like to tell you about that is that you've kind of made it over the climatological hump of summer. So now the first 2 days here in Denver of August, our average high temperature is 90, but then it goes back down to 89 by the 3rd day of August, and by the end of August your average high temperature is 85. So you're on the downward swing. Although we're going to have some hot days, hopefully August doesn't turn out to be super hot, but we will have the downward swing ahead. So that is something to look forward to at least. So thanks for joining me and have an awesome day.